Fiery Titans, Excalibur, and whatever the heck this is. Trollhunters Rise of the Titans is the fourth installment in the Tales of Arcadia universe, which include the Trollhunters show and spin-offs Three Below and Wizards. But don't worry if you haven't seen them all, I got you covered in this full breakdown for Rise of the Titans, which has a crazy time-traveling ending, and I believe opens the possibility for future installments, even though none have been announced. And you'll want to stick around till the very end, as I'll be going over differences between this new timeline and the events from Season 1. So grab your Trollhunter amulets, make sure to like and subscribe. Seriously, only 3% of you are subscribed. And definitely don't kiss Aja 7 times, because here we go. Taking place a year after the third installment, Wizards, our story begins with, well, a story. Blinky here recites a brief history of Arcadia, and I have to wonder if he's telling this story to us, the viewer, or perhaps to Steve and Aja's little ones, but we'll get to that in a bit. All you really need to know is that our protagonist Jim's Trollhunter amulet was destroyed by a group of wizards known as the Arcane Order. They believe that humans have caused too much destruction to the planet, and therefore Earth needs to start from scratch, but the only way to do that is to resurrect the three Titans and unite them with the Heartstone, the life force for all troll kind. The only problem is the Arcane Order needs all three of its members, Belrock, Skrael, and Nari, to unlock the Genesis Seals, the seals which contain the very essence of magic itself. In the third installment, Nari defected from the Arcane Order and joined our heroes, so this sets the stage for Rise of the Titans. Nari is hiding with her pal Duxie in Metro City. Check out the movie poster for Gun Robot 7 in the background, which is a fun foreshadowing of the actual gun robot we'll see battle the Fire Titan. Their commute is cut short, however, when they're attacked by Belrock and Skrael. This is the first big battle of the movie, which sees the two members of the Arcane Order attempting to kidnap Nari. If they can get a hold of her, they can perform the ritual to unlock those Genesis Seals, even if she's not willing to do it. They just need her physically there. With Nari almost within the clutches of the Arcane Order, Duxie performs a spell switching bodies with her. This buys Jim and the Guardians a bit more time. Speaking of Jim, he struggles with the fact he no longer has his amulet.
But without the amulet, am I still the Trollhunter?
This is his major character arc throughout the movie. Is it the amulet which gives him his powers, or is it something deeper within? As Belrock says,
"Without your amulet, you are nothing but a frightened little boy!"
At the same time, we get an introduction to a piece of Akiridion technology that will prove very useful to our team. They've created a device which can stop users from performing magic. Very useful when you're going up against wizards. For those who are new, Akiridions are a technologically advanced race of inorganic energy-based beings who hail from a planet known as Akiridion 5. Steve here has fallen in love with one named Aja, and upon reuniting with her in Rise of Titans, he gives her a kiss, but this has some serious implications. Once an Akiridion couple has their 7th kiss, the male becomes pregnant. We'll see Steve later give birth to 7 children, and I don't want to know what part of him they came out of. With Nari kidnapped, the Guardians of Arcadia decide what to do next. They have their headquarters in the floating castle of Camelot, which was destroyed at the end of the third installment, but seems to be partially rebuilt and infused with Akiridion technology. And if these past few hours weren't filled with enough drama, Jim finds out his mom is engaged to Walter Strickler. Walter is a changeling who, throughout the saga, has been both Jim's enemy and mentor. The Arcane Order soon finds out that Nari's real soul isn't in her body, and they perform their own incantation to reverse Duxie's spell. But right before Nari is transferred back to her original body, she tells the Guardians they have to get their hands on the Chronosphere, and they have to do the 9th configuration.
9th configuration? Sounds like an 80s boy band.
And no one has any idea what that means. Lucky for them, the Akiridians have fixed Jim's Trollhunter amulet, but when they track down the Arcane Order, it doesn't work, allowing the Order to summon the Titans and begin the end of the world.
The amulet failed. I failed.
The 3 Titans emerge in various parts of the world: the Ice Titan in Greenland, the Earth Titan in Brazil, and the Fire Titan in China. They're all making their way to the, quote, center of the universe, which just so happens to be Jim's hometown of Arcadia. They have 18 hours to stop them before they converge and destroy the world for good. Jim thinks that the reason his amulet didn't work was that it didn't contain Merlin's magic, so he sends Stuart and Krell to retrieve Excalibur, which has one of Merlin's magic stones buried in its hilt. They normally would have gone to get Merlin's Merlin's staff, but that was destroyed. Claire is sent on a mission to find the chronosphere, which was last seen in the hands of a troll dragon known as Zhongxi. He covets the chronosphere because it holds the power of time, being able to show the past and future. Of course he wants to know how he'll die so he can prevent it from happening. It's ironic then that he'll see how he dies mere moments before it happens. Meanwhile, Jim and Walter take on Skrell and the Ice Titan. When they find out that Camelot's cannons do little damage to this walking behemoth, Walter ends up sacrificing himself using an ungodly amount of explosives. It's a pretty sad ending for a guy who just got engaged, but as we'll see with all the deaths in this film, including Toby's at the very end, this may not be the last time we see everyone. Walter's death is in vain, however, when the Ice Titan merely resurrects. It seems the only way to stop these Titans is to stop whomever is controlling them. Halfway across the world, Nomura tries to take down the Earth Titan, but is also killed in the process. It isn't until Duxie is able to physically grab a hold of Nari that he's able to snap her out of her spell, giving the Guardians control of one of the 3 Titans. One of the lines Duxie uses to snap Nari out of it is "no more running." That's because for the last year or so, the two have been on the run hiding from the Arcane Order. It's about time they stop running and fight, which is exactly what they do. Unfortunately, in this epic battle, both Nari and Skrell are killed, destroying both of their Titans in the process. Now you'd think that would be the end of it. Doesn't the end of the world require all 3 Titans? Well, Blinky missed an important sticky page in his ancient grimoire that says if only one Titan succeeds, that will be the element from which the world will be reborn. So if only the Fire Titan makes it to the Heartstone, the world will be reborn in fire and ash. Doesn't sound too enticing. Stuart manages to bring over Excalibur. There's just one problem. Jim has tried to remove Excalibur from the stone before, but it didn't work. What will make it different now? That's when he remembers Nari's words, that he has to use the 9th configuration. The 9th configuration isn't a thing, it's them. So they all put their hands on the rock while Jim is able to remove the blade. This allows him to retrieve Merlin's magic stone from Excalibur, which he gives to Stuart to replace in the amulet. And when Stuart does replace it, nothing happens. That's because Jim hasn't yet realized it wasn't the amulet that made him a hero, it was the courage he already had inside. It's only when Jim confronts Belrock and recognizes this that the amulet returns to him and he can finally become the Troll Hunter once again.
The amulet didn't make me a hero. I already was.
Toby also gets a fun little character arc in the film. At the beginning he laments that he's always relegated to being the sidekick and is never the hero. Well, Toby really becomes a hero when he risks his life to save Jim using the Akiridion device to nullify Belrock's powers.
I'm powerless!
Don't worry.
You get used to it!
Belrock is defeated and the Fire Titan crumbles, but Toby is crushed under the falling rubble. Jim and gang are able to say their goodbyes, and in anger, Argumont throws the chronosphere, which inspires Jim to crack it open, revealing the Time Stone. If Jim goes back in time, he could potentially prevent Toby's death, as well as all these other events from ever happening. So Jim puts the Time Stone in the amulet and wakes up on the same day of episode 1 of the Trollhunters TV show. But there are a few key differences here. Instead of 6 a.m. like the TV show, it's 8 a.m. Both versions have raccoons knocking over the trash, but in Rise of the Titans, Jim is ecstatic to see Toby, confirming he's alive in this timeline. Later on in school, Jim shows his excitement for trying out for the Romeo and Juliet play, while in the original timeline, he barely even knows who Shakespeare is. Jim asks Sterling to come over to dinner to meet his mom, knowing the two will eventually hit it off, so already Jim is trying to shape this new timeline. He's even the one to recommend that Toby checks out the canal being the place where he first found the Trollhunter amulet, which kicked off the tales of the Arcadia saga. This suggests that in this timeline, Toby becomes the chosen one. But it's Jim's monologue he uses to audition for Romeo and Juliet that sums up the series and what it means to be a hero.
Never forget that fear is but the precursor to valor, that to strive and triumph in the face of fear is what it means to be a hero.
Now this ending can end here, but I think they've left this open for more movies and TV shows. Remember that Nari said time is like a flower, meaning it branches in different directions. Imagine a Troll Hunter multiverse, similar to what Marvel is doing. The movie also began with Blinky reciting this story, essentially proving the existence of multiple universes. You could have different Troll Hunters from different universes coming together to fight a big enemy. I think that could be a great idea to keep the series going. But what do you think? Was Trollhunters Rise of the Titans a fitting end to the series, and do you want to see it continue? I want to hear your comments below. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to like and subscribe, and for more bad takes, you can always follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ThinkStoryYT. Until next time, remember, Daddy loves you very much.